What is going on, everyone? The Cider Drinker here, and welcome to another Cider Drinker Top 10. Yes, it is finally time for me to do my next edition of the top 10 favourites and least favourite ciders of a particular period. Because if you are unfamiliar, I don't do normal top 10s basically, like top 10 best or top 10 worst, because I think that's subjective. What I do is every 100 reviews, I do my top 10 favourite and least favourite ciders from that period, apart from obviously the first one, because that was from reviews 1 to 150. Go figure. But anyway, this is from reviews 351 to 450. I still can't believe I've done that many reviews, but there you go. So, always start with the top 10 favourite ciders, because it seems you guys prefer the least favourite ciders list. I don't know, we always seem to get a kick out of, like, you know, the bad things and, you know, inside the world and everything, but there we go. So, before I get started, as usual, there is a couple of criteria that I follow for my top 10s. One, I only mention one cider per company, so you won't see the same company more than once in this list, because otherwise, you know, it might be dominated by one particular type. And no ciders from beer or cider festivals. I don't generally do cider festival videos anymore anyway, but yeah, there are no ciders mentioned in the beer festival. In fact, I haven't actually been to a cider festival, a beer festival where I've actually had any decent cider recently, so there we go. So, with the top 10, I will say it's not quite as good as the last top 10. Top 10 favourites, because the last top 10 favourites, there was all 10 of them given top marks. However, not quite. Number 10 is a 9 out of 10, and then the rest are all top marks. So, kind of spoilers maybe, if you've been keeping track of my reviews and everything. But anyway, before we actually get onto the top 10, I've got an honourable mention, and again, the honourable mention is a 9 out of 10. But I had so many ciders to choose from for this honourable mention, but I thought I would show a bit of love to Cidres, and I have gone for Kerisac Cidre Breton. It's one of my more recent reviews that I have done. By the way, if you do want to check out my full reviews, I will be popping a card in the corner around here, so if you want to check out a particular review and see more details, click on the old card and it will take you to the review. So there you go. There should be one for Kerisac Breton right there now. So yeah, what a great example of basically a Cidre, essentially. Just so full of flavour. I must admit, if you've not tried a Cidre before, it could be very full on, but for those that really do like the Breton style of Cidres, it is definitely right up there, and I think I got it for like £1.49 a bottle, which was fantastic. I know you can get it in bigger bottles, but, well, yeah, still good. So that's the honourable mention. So, let's kick off the list at number 10. And as I've already said, number 10 is the only 9 out of 10 to make the list. And again, like I just said, I did have a lot of choice when it came to giving the number 10 spot to someone. So I thought I would go for something a little bit different, and I thought I would show a little bit of support for hopped ciders, because they seem to be a growing trend in the cider community, especially recently. And well, I've had a couple of hopped ciders actually during this period, but the one that stuck out for me for most was from these guys right here, Ramborn's Hopped Cider. Yeah, fantastic. It was light, it was refreshing, it was just well balanced in the hop characteristics and the cider characteristics. And yeah, generally, it was just a really, really pleasant drink. And, well, all the way from Luxembourg as well. So, you know, you can't say better than that. But, yeah, so that is my number 10, Ramborn Hopped Cider. Okay, so now we get into the top marks at number 9. So bearing in mind, because all these have got 9.5 out of 10s, it was very hard to actually make to try and order them in some way, but I've sort of looked back at my reactions to these ciders and I've sort of based it off sort of my reaction to them and what I remember by them. So number 9 is from a company that I've not actually had any other ciders from yet, and that is Greenridge's Spoof. Quite a lot of bump on this cider, a little bit of a backstory behind it, but it was a very, very well balanced cider. I do believe it was either one from Orchard Box or it was one of the first ones that I got from Crafty Nectar. I don't think so because it was quite a while ago. So it's been so long since I've had an Orchard Box cider box. So, but yeah, really awesome cider, and highly suggest you check it out. Greenridge Spoof, as I said, check out my full review of it. Number 8 was sent to me by the company. I didn't have to buy it, and it wasn't from a cider subscription or anything. It is the Taunton Cider Company, and it's their vintage that has made the number 8 spot. What a great example of a vintage. It seems every single period there is always a vintage that makes the list, and Taunton have the honours of getting the number 8 spot with their vintage. It's definitely up there with one of my favourite vintages that I have had. Even up there with with the likes of, oh god, there's so many vintages that I've had. Sheppy's vintage was fantastic. I don't even think they do that anymore. I've just had so many, but it's definitely up there with the best. So number 8 definitely goes to Taunton Vintage. Number 7 is a cider that I wish I could see at festivals more often, but it seems to be the mainstay of Glastonbury Festival. And for those that don't know what it is, you obviously haven't been to Glastonbury Festival. Number 7 goes to Burrow Hills Cider Bus. And the great thing is, there is an actual cider bus at Glastonbury. That is just fantastic, if I'm being honest. I must say that Burrow Hills ciders have been absolutely fantastic so far. I've been waiting so long to try their ciders and I just haven't had the chance, and then lo and behold I managed to get a hold of a couple of bottles of them, and they have blown me away each and every time. But I went for their cider bus because it just seemed like the most well balanced, and the one that as I say, I wish was more available around the area, especially at music festivals and everything, because it's definitely better than having Somersby or crap like that at them. But yeah, definitely want to check out and to look out for is Burrow Hills Cider Bus, which comes in at number 7. So number 6 is a cider that I have had quite a lot of, but just not in bottle form. I have had it quite a few times in bag-of-the-box form and at cider and beer festivals, but it's only recently that I managed to actually get a hold of them from Orchard Box, actually, in their bottle form. It's Crone Cider Company, and I had a bit of a choice between a lot of them, but their rum cask has made the list at number 6. It's strong. I will say this right now, if you like strong ciders, it's definitely up there. I think it's 7.5%, and you can really taste the 7.5%. But the massive rum characteristics from it are so well balanced with the lovely deep tannic apple flavours that come from the apples used in their ciders, that it just all culminates into a really lovely drinkable cider, but just one that you need to actually, take care of, because it could actually blow you away. In fact, it did one time. I had it once, and then instantly just got tipsy from it. So yeah, number 6 is Crone's Rum Cask. Number 5, these guys have made my lists before. They have made my top 10 cider producers lists, and they have made the top 10 favourite ciders list this period as well. At number 5, it is Worley's Cider Company, and I have gone with their Beatnik Billy. What a great name for a cider anyway. Some people find it a little bit confusing, but I think it's really, really cool. Worley's ciders are just one of these companies that just keeps on producing such amazingly cracking ciders, and their Beatnik Billy is definitely no exception. I thoroughly enjoyed every little sip of that. I just wish there was a little bit more of it in the bottle. Well, I didn't want it to end, basically. So definitely check it out. Worley's Beatnik Billy makes my number 5. Number 4, they are a more recent company to me. I only recently started drinking their ciders again, mainly courtesy of Vulture Box, but I have got one of their ciders in my Crafty Nectar cider box as well that needs to be reviewed, which is their Morning Drop. And if you don't know who it is Ganley and Naish with their Dabinett single variety cider. I've had a lot of Dabinett ciders over my years of doing this channel, and Ganley and Naish's Dabinett is easily one of the best examples of the Dabinett single variety ciders out there. Oh man, I just did not want that one to end. It was just really, it was a little bit different. You could taste that it was proper. I think I even described it as having a sort of a chalky mouthfeel, and just the range of flavours just from one apple is just absolutely superb. I just don't know how cider companies do it, but they do seem to get so many flavours just out of one variety of apple. And Ganley and Naish have definitely done it with this one, so that's why they make the number 4 list on my top 10 favourite ciders list. That's Ganley and Naish's Dabinett. Well, what top 10 list wouldn't be complete without a Dunkerton cider on here? Because, well, Dunkertons are just one of my favourite cider companies out there. They produce such amazing ciders, and they've got such a great range of them as well. And this one is probably their rarest, I should say, mainly because of the apple variety that they use. It is their Court Royal, comes in at number 3. Yeah, again, it's one single type of apple, but I pretty much had a little bit of a moment to myself from having this cider. It was just, oh, well, I mean, I'll let the video do it justice, but all I'll say is, once again, Dunkertons have produced a fantastic single variety cider in the Court Royal apple. It's not very well known, but it has amazing flavours to it, and I highly suggest that you go out and try a bottle of it. You will not be disappointed. In fact, you probably won't be disappointed by Dunkerton ciders anyway, because they are fantastic. So that's why it makes the number 3 spot on my top 10 favourite ciders list. Dunkerton's Court Royal. Number 2 was yeah, well, I've mentioned these guys already on my list. You know, that's a little bit of a spoiler, but this one just, I don't know, sort of came out of nowhere. I always go to my reviews, you know, unbiased, you know, without any ideas in my mind of what something is going to be. But this one definitely went above and beyond my expectations for it. It is Crafty Nectar's number 7, the cider that was made by you guys, as it says on their cans and bottles. I mean, wow. What a fantastically well-balanced cider this is. I know I've said that in other sections of this, but honestly, these guys have listened to what you guys want, and they've made a cider that appeals to you guys. And honestly, it is one of my favourite ciders that I've had this period. It's fantastic. I think I saw a bottle of it in one of the bars in Chelmsford, and I thought, I've got to have it again, see if it's any different in the bottle, and I can tell you right now, it's not. It's still absolutely fantastic. And the great thing is, if you do subscribe to Crafty Nectar, I'm pretty sure you are going to get this a lot more often. So yeah, that is why it makes the number 2 spot. Crafty Nectar's number 7. I'm looking forward to trying out their number 8, which is in my drinks cabinet right now. Can't wait for that one. And so, what has made number 1? What has topped all these other great ciders to make the number 1 list? Well, once again, it's a fairly new company to me, but it is definitely one that has just blown me away with each and every one of their ciders. And they were so gracious to actually send me 6 of their ciders for me to try. And I also got another one of their ciders from Crafty Nectar's cider box as well. But this one, again, I had a little bit of a choice to make, but I've decided to go for Bignose and Boardy's Boar's Head. I could have easily gone for their for any of the other ciders out there, because they have all been absolutely fantastic. I've still got a bit of oomph to try, so look forward to that. In fact, I've already had a bit of oomph, because that was one of the ciders that was in their boxes, but then Crafty Nectar had it in their box as well, so I thought, oh, well, I might as well try one for myself. I'm not going to give anything away, but, well, yeah, I'm not giving any spoilers. You'll have to wait until the review. But anyway, Bignose and Beardy's Boar's Head. I mean, what can I say? It's as close to, for me, giving out a 10 out of 10 as possible. I never give 10 out of 10s because there's always one person that it's not going to, to please as much. That's why I always give 9.5 out of 10s. But it was as close to a 10 out of 10 as I could have given. Bignose and Beardy, that's Sussex, so sort of fairly local to me as well. And, well, I'm just looking forward to trying all the other ranges out because, honestly, they might only come in little bottles, but they are so full of flavour. And every time, it's going to be slightly different as well, especially a bit of oomph, because they just chuck loads of ciders, loads of apples in there, and they don't know what's going to come out. But I can tell you now, whatever it is going to be absolutely fantastic. And, yeah, thank you to the train for going past and making the noise. That's always typical. It always happens when I try and do a countdown. But anyway, that is my top 10 favourite ciders list for this period. So, have you guys tried these ciders before? What did you make of them? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And would you change anything about it? Would you move them up or down? And, always interested to hear views. But for now, you'll have to wait until the next top 10 favourite ciders list to see what's going to make that one. However, I'm going to turn this camera off now, and I'm going to go straight on to my top 10 least favourite ciders, which I know you guys probably look forward to more than this one. So, until then, I'll see you on the next one. Till next time.